See, this internet's just a fad. I mean, it's still quicker to post letters. I'll give all the information technology 2 years tops. I was right about the stylophone. People will soon get fed up with it. The Beatles had it right, mind. Good tunes.
Is this the quickest way?
Oh, it had to be a blank geezer. I'm not racist, mind. I watched that Dale Winton.
Couldn't you go round him? Look, the pavement's almost empty.
Oh, I can't.
I'll get out here.
Morning, sir. You're in early?
Yes. I'd been in even earlier. The taxi got stuck in Essex Street. It's a pity the driver was talking a lot of sense, actually.
What brings you in at this time, sir? You haven't got any work in at the moment.
What brings me in? To be first in. To beat her, Alex. Well, I got that parking offence to prosecute, don't forget that.
Sorry, sir, I meant to tell you the warden decided it wasn't worth pursuing being a single yellow line.
Do I still get the £48?
I got them to agree to send you £8 to cover your preparation. Also, did I tell you, I've got my nephew Leonard coming in this morning for his work experience.
£8? Bloody little Hitlers. Well, better take it out of my diary.
Right on, sir.
Can you sign for this, mate?
Sorry?
Can you sign for this?
I'm head of chambers. I'm afraid I can't sign that.
Sorry, I didn't realise. Well, just put an X then, yeah?
Vince, can you come and put an X here?
Just two diagonal lines that cross each other,
I
yeah?
know what a bloody X is, you moron.
Quite all right, sir. Oh, that's a crate of wine. Cheers, mate.
All right.
Chateau St. Emilio and Company. Nice sharp grape.
You see, Vince, I don't forget the grateful clients. Now, I rather suspect that school teacher that I represented on that trumped-up shoplifting.
Yeah, but he won't be out of prison yet, will he, sir? Oh. This for Mr. Trippin.
For Hillary?
Yeah, second one he's had this week. And that bloke giving him that watch. He's on a bit of a roll at the moment.
Hillary's won a case.
Yeah, the last four. That's just the way it goes. You had that period a couple of years back where you got sentenced by that client.
Oh, yes, those effigies. Yeah. Now, if I'd have been in work since 7 a.m., I'd have probably been taking my first break of the morning, perhaps on the sofa, yes. When Alex comes through that door, she'll see me looking relaxed and nonchalant, whatever it is. What is that word, Vince?
Nonchalant?
Oh, that... What time did you get in?
Vince, I've done those 5 divorce advices for Slater's. I emailed them direct from home last night. These are the hard copies and timesheet on top.
All this work. Good job I've got my nephew Leonard coming in today for his work experience.
Oh, John, I need you to take over a case of mine, a Mr. Chung and his will.
Case of yours?
I know, I wouldn't normally ask, but I am wall-to-wall with big cases at the moment. I've got to be in court now, so I thought if we have a quick
I'm
chat
afraid I'm
about it.
tied up with work too, Alex. I've been dealing with this very big case of my own all morning. Huge.
Really? What kind of case?
The very big kind. Transportation issues. Lots of noughts on the fee, eh, Vince?
Yeah, the fee was mostly naught, sir.
Yes. I would like to talk about it, Alex, but I'm frantic. Been frantic all morning with my big case. I think I must take a breather. I'm a bit worried about burnout.
Shame. The Chung case is pretty straightforward, and it's a nice privately paid one, too.
God, no rest for the wicked.
Morning, John.
Sorry, Hillary, too busy.
Mr. Tripping!
Mr. Akinwanda!
I really didn't know how to thank you for representing me. So,
Another fish tank.
If you could keep it brief, Alex.
Oh, it's all pretty straightforward. There you go. Oh, and I've written out a list of clients for you.
I don't need a list of clients' names.
I only mention it because of that building case of mine that you did. My client didn't like you shortening his name to Mick.
Well, it's hardly a hanging offence.
His name was Arvindra.
Well, don't worry. I'll be fine dealing with Mr. Wong.
Chung.
Mr. Wong Chung.
No, John, only Chung.
Mr. On Lee Chung.
Oh, and John, don't try and be charming with the solicitor. I'd like to keep her as a client.
You know, Alex, I'm taking out some very valuable time out of a very, very busy workload of big cases, transportation issues and so forth, just to help you out on this.
Right. Blank pages. Parking case. Crossed out. Ear examination.
They are examining both ears, Alex.
This hairspray is fantastic. It sets your hair perfectly. How does it look?
I can't move my face. Anyway, I'd like you to read the papers on this Wills case of mine.
What?
I'd like you to help me with this case.
Well, a bit pushed at the moment. Is there something wrong with your mouth?
Don't worry, we'll split the workload evenly.
Well, it's just that, you know, once for a change, I'm quite very busy.
Yeah, well, you do the reading and preparation, and I'll give you the advice.
Okay. Do you want a piece of Black Forest Gatto?
Oh, that would be nice. Can I have a big piece? You're doing rather well at the moment, Hilary. Why?
Shall I tell you my secret? No. I'll show you. Right, John. You stand there with your back to me. And close your eyes.
Well, this isn't a trick you've picked up at one of your visits to a male prison, is it? We had something like that at school. What was it?
Now, try and go completely rigid.
Oh, that was it, yes.
Come on.
What, like this?
Go rigid.
Yes, like this.
Now, fall into my arms.
What?
Fall into my arms and trust me that I'll catch you.
What do you mean by trust?
John, I just wanted to check that you... What are you doing?
Oh, hi, Alex. Watch, it's brilliant. We're doing a trust exercise. Go on, John. Fall back.
No, I don't trust you.
Is this the thing you've been doing with your clients?
Yeah, you remember that mime artist I represented on the criminal damage?
The one who walked into a plate glass window?
Yeah, he told me they do these trust exercises at mime school. Well, he didn't actually tell me. He mimed it.
I don't understand what use this could possibly be in a court case.
Well, when you boil it down, what is a barrister's job really about?
Well, I can give you the standard answer, but no, it's more than just money.
Trust. Look, let me show you.
What? Get off me!
Yes, that is good.
I trusted you to catch me, and, well, you broke my fall, you know, which is quite good. Quite good. I try getting my clients to do that with me, and I've been getting the most fantastic
Well,
results.
I've never heard anything so bloody stupid. You're always on about trust and what's that other thing?
Honesty?
Yes, that's it. People don't want that in a barrister. They want a winner. That's what I built my career on.
Oh, sir, could I introduce my nephew, Leonard?
Right, hello.
Leonard's going to be applying for our junior clerk's position. I thought I'd just give him a couple of days' work experience, smooth out a few of the rough edges. He'll have to take his chances on merit at the interview stage, of course.
As Uncle Vince says, sir, I'll have to take my chances when I'm up on stage at the interview, of course.
Absolutely.
Leonard's taken the liberty of making you a cup of tea and bringing you some Battenberg cake.
Oh, good. Put a bit on there. Another bit.
Leonard would also be arranging the refreshments for your conference with some tropical fruit drinks as an alternative.
Excellent.
Don't worry, sir, it's all underhand.
Our new Carrera's a little bit tasty looking.
Very tasty looking, the new Carrera.
£140 brake horsepower, spanking.
Spanking, 140 brake horsepower.
Oh, set of Ocelot seat covers. Now you're cooking.
Yeah, them cost a lot, seat covers.
John, what's going on?
What? I've got a conference. It's all prepared.
I'm not talking about the case. I'm talking about that bloody idiot nephew of Vince's. I'm sorry, John. I am not agreeing to him getting the junior clerk's job.
He's not getting the job. He's just here for a couple of days' work experience.
Yes, well, that's the way Vince works, isn't it? He gets idiot boy Lenny in, teaches him a few pathetic tricks like how to buy you off with little treats.
Oh, that is such a gross supposition.
And then we sit through a meaningless set of interviews. Well, I don't want the first thing my clients to see when they walk through that door to be Ronnie and Reggie.
Seems pretty attentive to me.
You know he's terminally stupid. He can't even say good morning unless Vince writes it down for him.
What's your point, Alex?
What's my point?
Susan Lewis and Mr. Chung are here.
Leonard, a question.
Yes, miss.
What are your views on an advertising budget for Chambers?
Leonard was just saying that 2.5% of turnover to cover print and electronic media.
Really? And perhaps he'd like to describe to me the role of a modern barrister's clerk.
Funnily enough, Leonard was just saying, part marketing manager, part company accountant with a flair for networking.
Could the organ grinder kindly close his second favourite orifice and let his nephew answer?
Well, compromise, that's a bit unfair.
Fair dues, miss, my lips are sealed.
Good. What would be your top priority for Chambers over the next 5 years?
I'd want to make paper aeroplanes.
Make paper aeroplanes.
No, whilst I was thinking about the answer to that complex question, miss.
Right, so do you have any answer?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I'd want to, up.
What?
To increase...
Yes?
To increase the number of briefs that we use as fans to keep us cool in the summer.
To increase turnover, miss.
No further questions. We need someone with a business degree, trained in marketing. Not some diamond geezer from Uncle Charlie's fruit and veg store. I mean, we've got enough idiots in Chambers as it is.
Hi, Alex.
Hillary?
Mr. Sammy Chung.
And his solicitor, Mr. Susan Lewis.
Do please have a seat, Mr. Chung, Mrs. Lewis. This is my junior Hillary Tripping. Well, now, Mr. Chung, money. You can't take it with you. Otherwise, we'd all be given a set of asbestos suitcases.
Very funny, Mr. Carp. We're all going to hell, yes.
Well, I didn't mean that exactly.
You know, they say God created Satan so that people don't blame everything on God. And Satan created the lawyers so that people don't blame everything on Satan.
Really? Is that a proverb?
No. It's the universal truth.
Well, shall we get on, Mr. Chung? Your will...
We're all mortal, Mr. Carp. That's it, isn't it? But we have to consider what happens when we go, yes?
Yes, sadly, yes. My wife is always talking about my death. She brings it up every night.
Well, death shouldn't really be the end of things, should it, Mr. Chung? I always think of it more as a new start with wings.
I make $1 million in this country, Mr. Carp. I marry a beautiful English woman and 3 sons, all hotheads. They want me.
I'm sure they don't, Mr. Chung. They're fine boys.
Well, so, Mr. Chung, I understand that you want advice on how to keep £250,000 in cash and shares out of your estate.
I don't want those hotheads and their grasping wives getting hold of it. Don't I tell you, Mrs. Lewis, I won't let the children get hold of it.
Yes, my wife and I never had any children. She always said it wouldn't be fair on them.
I would rather give the money to the lawyers than to them.
If I may say so, Mr. Chung, that's a very moving statement.
No. I would rather give the money to you, Mr. Foley Carp, than to those hotheads and bloody takers.
Have some tea, Mr. Chung.
No. I want you to have the money and the shares, Mr. Foley Carp. You and Mrs. Lewis.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Chung. Are you all right?
You. That's who I want to have it. You're the lawyer.
He's choking.
Don't choke, Mr. Chung.
Vince! Get an ambulance. No, wait. We're going to get him to casualty by taxi.
Oh, yes, we can charge it back.
I want you to have the money. You.
I'll loosen his clothing. John, do you want to try mouth to mouth?
What about taking his temperature?
I just can't believe it. I've never seen anyone die before.
We'd only just started the conference. I don't think we've even done 1 chargeable hour. Of course, that's by the by at a time like this.
He seemed in such good health and spirits right up to his last words, saying... what was it?
Oh, I don't know. Something about wanting me to have the £250,000 in cash and shares. I don't think I even made a note of it.
Oh, yes, you did. Look, you signed and dated it in 2 places.
Just a reflex thing.
I think he mentioned me as well. He said he wanted me to have it too.
Yes, he did. Not the last time, though.
It's also irrelevant, isn't it? Man has died, after all.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just those last words that he wanted to leave that money and shares to me.
And to me.
Surely you don't think he wanted us to have the money?
No, I don't think your name was mentioned at all.
No, he didn't mention you.
Yes, but it was a joke, wasn't it?
Well, it certainly seemed like a joke, initially.
It was just the way he kept repeating it, even when your clerks came in.
Yes, came in and effectively witnessed his statement, thereby burying all previous wills and testaments.
Yes, I was struck by that.
Come on, John, you don't think he actually meant to leave you the cash?
And the shares.
And the shares.
I genuinely don't know, Hilary.
No, I can't believe it. I mean, he hardly knew you.
Well, you say that, Hilary, and of course I agree with you, but he seemed to think that we'd built up rather a strong relationship since, well, today.
No, I still don't think he changed his mind about the money.
And the shares.
And the shares.
And the shares. Not in so short a time.
Well, death is a great concentrator of the mind, Hilary. I'm loath to act on these words, but there are these fully binding legalities.
Well, I mean, you know more about wills than I do, but I just cannot think that he meant for you to have the money.
And the shares. Well, can you see a way around it?
Well, no, not at the moment.
Yeah, neither can I. Damn.
John, I heard about Mr. Chung. It's terrible.
I know. I mean, I've had disappointed clients before, but it's never gone this far.
How did it happen?
Well, it wasn't my fault. I got his name right.
No, Vince said it was a random heart attack. Are you okay?
Well,
I'd be in bits. I actually think you're being pretty remarkable about it.
what are you doing?
Well, I've put you through enough for one day. I'll take the brief back and tie up all the loose ends, the will, the family.
No, don't do that. It's wonderfully generous of you, Alex. Well, although I didn't know him well, I feel very, very close to Sammy Chung.
People get you wrong, John, but no, this was my case, and I don't want you to have the strain of it.
Why is life so bloody unfair?
What?
I just need to be held.
Here.
Thanks, I'm fine now. I just need to deal with this, for nothing else, as part of the grieving process.
Of course. I mean, you must still be in shock.
Yes, I just feel I want some closure on this, so that I can get on with the rest of my holiday.
What? You said holiday.
Oh, life. I mean, sorry, get on the rest of my life, sorry. Yes, my life, which will be no holiday.
OK, Mrs. Campbell-Griggs, now.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Tripping. That helped me a lot.
Without trust, we're nothing, Mrs. Campbell-Griggs. Shall we go into court?
Whatever you wish.
Sir, Susan Lewis just faxed through the amended will in the Sammy Chung case.
Oh, did she really? Yes, it's a very sad business, this, Vince. It really makes you think about death, the pros and cons.
Miss Khan said she assumed you'd be sharing a taxi to the funeral, sir.
Oh, yes, fine. What? She's not going to the funeral, is she?
Well, Mr. Chung was her client originally.
Well, I know, and she'll have read the original will.
Does that matter, sir? The new will's all legal, isn't it?
Well, yes, of course it is. But don't you see, Vince, it might upset the family if she starts talking about the old will and they find out it's been changed.
Well, surely she wouldn't do that, sir.
Well, it's a question of sensitivity, isn't it? And, well, Alex is a great girl, but it's not her strong point, bless her.
All right.
You see, it's just concern for the family. I think it would genuinely help them, if Miss Khan were unable to attend the funeral.
Yeah, but how could we do that?
Oh, I don't know. Some accident. Tell her someone's died. Oh, no, perhaps not that.
Well, you mean something like confusion in the clerk's room and she ends up being mistakenly called away to a last-minute GBH at Snaresbrook?
Yes. Yes.
I see what you mean, sir. That's the perfect solution.
Great.
Unfortunately, sir, it's just totally unethical. It's not something a senior clerk could do.
What? Why?
But on the other hand, though, it's just the kind of mix-up a junior clerk might make.
What are you saying?
Perhaps there's something Leonard could do.
Leonard?
Yeah. Have you been able to form a view of his potential, sir?
Well, he's all right.
Miss Cunn's booked the taxi for the funeral in 20 minutes, I believe.
Oh, yeah, well, he is a bright lad, isn't he?
Very amenable.
Yes, as I say, very, very bright. I'm sure he will make an invaluable contribution to Chambers' administration.
I'm glad. It's just that he doesn't interview very well. Nerves, I think.
Oh, well, no need to put him through that. Goodness, he's almost part of the family, young Len.
That's lovely. I'll go make sure he gets accidentally confused.
John Fuller Carp, I was your husband's barrister.
Oh, yes, I recognise your name from the invoice.
Right, yes. He may not have mentioned me very much, but actually we were quite close.
You were with Sammy when... He was so giving.
Yes, he was.
Thank you.
Vince! Vince! There wasn't a Mr. Russell at Snaresbrook. Vince! The sum of £250,000 in cash and shares I leave to John Fuller Carp and Susan Lewis. Leonard!
What can we say of a man like Sammy Chung? That he was kind, that he was good, that he was humorous. Every week, he would come to this church and at the collection plate say to me, "Vicar, I want you to have all of my money." No one else, just you, Vicar. You. I want you to have all my money and my shares. He'd laugh heartily and point at me with his finger and say this every week. Now, of course, nobody in their right mind could possibly have taken him seriously. He was, after all, such a family man. It was just his way of making a joke, breaking the tension, sharing his infectious appetite for life.
He seems to have really touched people's lives.
Thank you.
He had a gift.
Yes, he did. Thank you.
Okay, let's get back to Chambers.
Shall we share a cab?
What are you doing here?
Well, fun enough, my case ended early.
What sense?
In the sense that it didn't actually exist.
Mrs. Chung, what a lovely service, but I'm afraid we must bid you farewell.
Mr. Fuller Carp, as you were one of the last people to see Sammy alive, I was wondering, would it be too much to ask you to say a few words about Sammy?
Well, no, of course it wouldn't, but I'm sure there are a lot of people here who knew him far better than I did.
What a lovely idea, Mrs. Chung. And who better to speak on behalf of all those people whose lives Sammy enriched than you, John?
He always had this thing about lawyers. He respected them.
But what about one of your lovely sons?
Mum wants you to say something.
John is a wonderful speaker.
All right, well, if that's what people want. Ladies and gentlemen, Maureen has asked me to say a few words. My name is John Fuller Carp. I was Sammy's barrister. Well, what can one say about Sammy Chung? He was a man, a friend, a husband, a father. His sense of humour has been remarked upon already, but there was another side to this kind and complex man, the serious side. And in fact, sometimes, often, when Sammy was joking or at his most flippant, he was, in fact, at his most serious. Well, not always, perhaps, and perhaps not at all as a young man, but towards the end, at certain key points.
Rubbish. All right. We know what everyone here wants.
Mark, no. Now's not the time.
Now's exactly the time. How touching. All Dad's lovely kids crying crocodile tears for the old man when all you really want to know is how much he left you.
Look, let things settle.
Why should we? There's not a person here who doesn't want to know what's in Dad's world.
Maureen, it's been quite lovely and moving, but if you will forgive me.
We've got the lawyer here. Let him read the will.
Yeah, get the lawyer to read the will. For clarity, if nothing else.
Yeah, well, because normally it's the solicitor's job, and certainly if Mrs. Lewis would care to read the will.
No, I'm fine, really. Actually, if it's okay, I really must go.
Well, regrettably, I must go too.
You read it. You're the barrister.
The thing is, we don't have the will here, so we can't read it. Oh, damn, what a shame. But, well, there we are. Well, bye-bye then.
Hold on, I've got a copy. It's a bit lucky, isn't it? I work with Mr. Fuller Carp, and the will must have been faxed through to us earlier today. I hope I didn't do the wrong thing by bringing it along. No? Oh, good. There you go, John.
I hate you in a way you can never really know.
Snaresbrook.
Read it.
All right, fine, if you insist. This is the last will and testament of Sammy Weng-Wah Chung, revoking all previous wills and testaments. God, aren't these legal documents tedious? I don't know why we lawyers can't use plain English. Why don't I skip the boring bits?
Read it all.
Oh, OK, fine. To my darling wife, I leave the house and car. The sum of £250,000 in cash and shares I leave to...
Sorry, Mr. Fuller Carp, I didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. The sum of £250,000 in cash and shares I leave to...
To who?
The print's a bit difficult, you know. Well, you know what faxes are like. It's like some big inky electronic spiders had a bit of a stomp across the page. Why don't we leave it till we get the original?
Give me that. The sum of £250,000 in cash and shares I leave to John Fuller Carp.
And Susan Lewis.
You?
And Susan Lewis. Well, I'm just as surprised by this. Are you sure this is right? Surely there must be some mistake here.
How did you get your hands on his money? Blood-sucking leech!
Mr. Fuller Carp, after all the nice things you said about Sammy, I thought we could trust you.
Yes, you can trust me. Everyone, she can.
Oh, I feel faint.
Maureen. Maureen. Fall back on me.
What?
Fall back on me. You can trust me.
John, the will's not valid anyway. Leonard witnessed it and he's only 17.
What?
Oh. Well, I think that's all from me. John, do you have any questions?
No.
No, John. I think what you'd like to ask is what makes you think you're qualified to be a junior clerk?
Well, I've got experience in putting together marketing campaigns, business plans, and interactive websites for growing businesses, plus my business degree.
Excellent. Thank you. Say thank you, John.
Thank you. We're pretty liberal, though.
So can I have a spliff in the bathroom, then?
Spliff, splash, splosh, anything you like.
You're so good at this fat-burning machine. You must do loads and loads and loads of it. I've never done it before.
I can see that.
No way, you mother. Right, Mum. Well, thanks a lot for letting me practice.
No.
Bitch.